Thank you for coming back to the Legends Leaving channel. Today, May 23rd, we come together again to honor some famous people who died recently or today. Through their work in the arts, these people have left an indelible mark on our minds and on the world. We are saddened by their deaths and want their families and fans to know that we are thinking of them. Peace out. Please show your respect and remember them by liking this movie if their stories have moved you or if you are moved by the extraordinary lives they lived. Thanks for living in our neighborhood. We're going to talk about some bad news about Robin Roberts in this video. An important American artist, Charlie Collin was best known as the bassist for the rock band Train. After leaving the band in 2003, he continued to make a big impact in the music business by playing guitar and singing background vocals for many other bands. Collin's path to singing began early in his life. He learned to play the guitar when he was 8 years old and lived in Virginia. After that, his family moved to Newport Beach, California, and he went to Newport Harbor High School there. Collin loved fishing, playing water polo, and of course playing the guitar when he was in high school. Collin went to college at the University of Southern California at first, but later switched to Berklee College of Singing in Boston to focus on his singing skills more. Collin got better at music while at Berklee, where he played with more experienced players to learn more and get more experience. He learned about important artists like Pat Metheny during this time, which greatly expanded his musical tastes. When Collin was done at Berklee, some friends made him an interesting offer to go to Singapore and write and play jingles. This is a picture of the famous Polish musician Jan Andrzej Paweł Kaczmarek. He was known for writing music for over 70 films and documentaries. The score for the 2004 movie Finding Neverland won him an Oscar and a National Board of Review Award and is one of his most famed works. He has also written well-reviewed music for the films Hachi, A Dog's Tale, Unfaithful Evening, The Visitor, and Washington Square. Kaczmarek started making songs early in life. He was born in Konin, Poland. He studied music while getting his law degree from Adam Mickiewicz University in Poznan, where he specialized in legal theory and philosophy of law. He graduated in 1977. His career took a big turn when he started working with Jerzy Grotowski and his avant-garde theater lab in the late 1970s. He started the orchestra of the Eighth Day in 1977, and his first record, Music for the End, came out in the U.S. in 1982 on Flying Fish Records. Kaczmarek moved to Los Angeles, California in 1989 and continued to build his name there. Sony Classical, Decca, Vir Sarabande, Verve, Epic, Milan, and Savita Records were some of the big record companies that put out his albums. He also played shows all over the United States and Europe. The famous American rock and roll guitarist Duane Eddy was known for his unique twangy sound. When Eddy first came on the scene in the late 1950s and early 1960s, he worked with producer Lee Hazelwood to make a string of hits such as Rebel Rouser, Peter Gunn, and Because They're Young. He had a big impact on famous bands like The Shadows, The Beatles, and Bruce Springsteen. By 1963, he had sold 12 million songs. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1994 and the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum in 2008. His unique guitar style and groundbreaking sound cemented his place in rock history. Eddy was born in Corning, New York. He learned to play the guitar at the age of 5 after listening to Gene Autry. He moved to Arizona with his family in 1951, and there he started a band with his friend Jimmy Delbridge, which became known as Jimmy Del. They became famous in their home state by playing on radio and TV shows in Phoenix. This led to a collaboration with Lee Hazelwood, an Arizona-based DJ and producer. Duane Eddy had an effect on music that lasted well into the 21st century. In 2010, he played at London's Royal Festival Hall, which led to the release of his album Road Trip in 2011. American author Paul Benjamin Auster wrote important novels, memoirs, and films that have left an indelible mark on modern writing. Auster's most famous works are the New York Trilogy 1987, Moon Palace 1989, The Music of Chance 1990, The Book of Illusions 2002, The Brooklyn Follies 2005, Invisible 2009, Sunset Park 2010, Winter Journal 2012, and 4321-2017. He is known for his unique way of telling stories and exploring themes like identity, coincidence, and existential uncertainty. His books have been translated into more than 40 languages because of how well they combine postmodernism and reflection. Auster was born in Newark, New Jersey, to Jewish parents from Austria who came from a middle-class background. He grew up in South Orange, Newark. As a child, one of the most important things he learned was seeing a boy hit by lightning and killed quickly while at summer camp when he was 14. This traumatic event had a huge effect on him, and themes of fate and chance show up in all of his work. Auster finished from Maplewood's Columbia High School and then went on to get BA and MA degrees in English and Comparative Literature from Columbia University. Iris Apfel was a famous American businesswoman, interior designer, and fashion star. She was known for her flashy style, outgoing personality, and famously big glasses. Apfel had a big effect on the fashion and design worlds during her lifetime and left a lasting influence. Samuel Barrell, who ran a glass and mirror business, and Sadai Sid Barrell, who ran a clothing store, gave birth to Iris Barrell in Astoria, Queens, New York City. She was their only child. Her Jewish background and her parents' desire to be successful business owners shaped her life and set the stage for a lifetime of imagination and new ideas. As a child, Apple liked the busy energy of Manhattan and would often go to Greenwich Village to look around in the old shops there. Being exposed to different countries and styles at a young age sparked her desire to collect one-of-a-kind jewelry and clothes. During the Great Depression, her family was very resourceful, which helped her learn how to plan, sew, and make stylish clothes on a budget. Apple studied art history at New York University and art at the University of Wisconsin, where she improved her skills even more. In the beginning of her career, she worked as a copywriter for Women's Wear Daily and as Eleanor Johnson's assistant, where she learned how to find unique things. Over the course of nearly 50 years, Paul Hood was a famous Canadian actor and radio and TV host. Paul Hood was born in St. Laurent, Quebec. His parents were Alina Cheam and musician Paul Hood's R. He went to college at the École Polytechnique de Montréal and the University de Montréal, where he built a strong academic base before starting to work in media and entertainment. Hood started working in radio in 1975 at CH 730 AM. He later went on to work at CKMF-FM and CFGL-FM. As CFGL-FM, he was a host at CHMP-FM 98.5 from 2007 until January 2019. Hood had a show on CKLX-FM from 2022 to 2023. He also hosted a number of shows on IC Radio Canada, Télé, TVA, TQS, and Télé-Québec. On TV, he co-hosted the game show The Circle and was in the show The Boys. Hood's performance in 361 Second DX Days with Marc Lebrecht showed how versatile he is. In 1982, Paul married Francine Odette. Together, they had two boys, Carl and Paul Frederick. Carl Hood's grandson, Laney Paul Arnaud Xavier Hood, was born in 2017 to Zita and Carl. Hood died in 2024 when he was 69 years old after having problems with his surgery. He had a lasting effect on Canadian entertainment and media, leaving a legacy of ability and hard work. But Malachi Gerard McCourt was a politician, singer, and writer from the United States. He was born in Brooklyn to Angela Ney and Malachi Gerard McCourt, SR, who were all Irish. His brother, author Frank McCourt, was older. McCourt was born in Limerick, Ireland, and moved to the United States as a child. In films and TV shows, he was in a lot of them, like the Molly Maguires 1970, The Brink's Job 1978, Brewster's Millions 1985, and Ash Wednesday 2002. He was also in a number of soap operas, such as Another World and One Life to Live. His part as Father Clarence on All My Children during the Christmas season was well known. During the 1970s, McCourt had a talk show on WMCA and would sometimes be on WBAI radio shows like Radio Free Irian. He often worked as a guest artist at Scranton Public Theater and was in plays written by his brother Frank, such as Inherit the Wind and A Couple of Blackguards in 2003. McCourt played Frances Preston Blair in Gods and Generals. She also played a Catholic mother for a short time on HBO's Oz. McCourt wrote 3 autobiographies that tell the stories of his life in Ireland and the United States. They are called Up a Monk Swimming, Death Be Not Fatal, and Singing My Hymn Song. He also put together Voices of Ireland and wrote about the background of the ballad Danny Boy. Luigi Gigio Moro was an actor from Italy who worked for more than 50 years. Moro was born in Naples and went to school at the Accademia di Arti Drammatica di Napoli, where he graduated in 1966. He started his career on stage with Carlo Secchi, who called him Gigio after the well-known puppet Topo Gigio. Moro mostly worked in theater, and he did work with well-known stage groups run by Eduardo De Filippo, Giuseppe Petroni Griffi, Maurizio Chaparro, Luca De Filippo, and Tony Cervello. In 1976, he made his movie debut in Victory March by Marco Bellacchio. Since then, he has worked with well-known directors like Lena Wertmuller, Matteo Garrone, Nanni Moretti, Mario Martoni, Marco Rizzi, Gianni Di Gregorio, Antonio Capuano, Eduardo Leo, and Ricardo Milani. Most people know him from his TV part as Peppino Canfora in the Rai 3 show One Pasto al Sole, which he played from 2017 to 2019. Moro was a recognized figure in Italian theater and film throughout his career because of how talented and versatile he was. His contributions to the arts were marked by a deep commitment to his work, leaving behind a legacy that has inspired many in the field. Whether she was on stage or in a movie, Moro's acts were known for being honest and full of emotion. Louis Cameron Gossett Jr. was a giant in American acting who was great on stage and in movies. From his early days on Broadway to his groundbreaking parts in films and TV shows, Gossett left behind a legacy of great success and toughness. Gossett was born in Brooklyn's lively Coney Island neighborhood. Her rise to fame was marked by passion and drive. Even though Gossett had problems like a fight with polio when he was young, he never gave up on his craft. His rise to fame started with an amazing first performance on stage when he was only 17. Gossett's act in the Broadway production of Take a Giant Step won praise from critics and set the stage for an exemplary career. There were many things that Gossett did that affected culture that were not related to theater. In 1977, his role as Fiddler in the groundbreaking miniseries Roots wowed viewers and won him an Emmy Award. This was a turning point in the history of television. But Gossett's legendary role as Gunnery Sergeant Emil Foley in An Officer and a Gentleman made him a household name in movie history. Outside of the glitz and glitter of Hollywood, Gossett's personal life was full of both successes and setbacks. Robin Roberts is a role model for strength and resilience in the journalism world. Her amazing work and brave fight against illness have left an indelible mark on the field. Roberts was born on November 23, 1960 in Tuskegee, Alabama. He became one of the most respected people in broadcasting through passion, dedication, and a never-ending drive for greatness. She started her career as a reporter after finishing with honors from Southeastern Louisiana University. She worked at several local stations to improve her skills before joining ESPN in 1990. When Roberts moved to ABC News in 2005, she made history as the first African-American woman to host a major network morning news show, Good Morning America. Her popularity continued to grow. Because she was honest, warm, and good at her job as a reporter, she won over millions of people and became a beloved fixture in American homes. Even though Roberts had a lot of work success, she also had a serious illness that could kill her. She was told she had breast cancer in 2007, which put her resolution to the test like never before. A news that would put her determination to the test like never before. Something that would.